Appreciate that. Got the lights on the party. You know how we do it. Yeah. You already know. Tell your homies. It's on. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's going to be a good deal today. What? I hope y'all ready for it. I'm ready. You ready? Hey, so I gotta do it one time. Yeah. Woo. Gonna twerk. Hey. Come on, check in. Mary's Takeover, baby. Oh, yeah. It's takeover time. Check in, rep your city. Mississippi in the building. Philly in the building. DC in the building. Maryland in the building. Woo. Yeah. Search a doc, you know how I gotta break it down on them. What it do, Ty? I'm a little jet lag. What? Oh yeah. Check in, where you from? Is that Seattle slime through here? I see you. Hey. Hope y'all ready for another one. We got a conversation tonight. Trying to tell you, grab your boots, say come here, boots. Hey. Oh, Jersey in the building. Tallahassee in the building. Got my stomping grounds right now. Represent Amos P. Tallahassee in the building. Tallahassee, Florida. Oh, Search Cadet Lady T. You know how she always like fashionable lady. She coming. I can't do this one by myself. I might lay it down right here. Oh, ATL in the building. My man Chef Yorel in the building. Hey, no Kakalaki in the building. Hey, where you at, Kakalaki? Where you at? Charlotte? Where you at? Riley? Where you at? Hey, yo. Now I gotta tell you, hey, that thing nice, ain't it? Yeah, walk it out sometime. I'm gonna tell you, I might be a little bit off the chain today, because I'm extremely tired. Little jet lag. Woo! Oh! Fayetteville in the building. Oh, yeah. Woo! Fayetteville in the building. What's up? How's everybody doing? I know y'all doing good. All good in the neighborhood. One time for your mind. Chilling on the spine. I'm waiting on wifey to slide in the building. I think she's finishing up some stuff. Oh, OKC in the building. Okay. And Ty, yes I am Ty. Thank you so very much. I'm just juiced off of energy drink right now. So, hey, listen. I'm going to tell y'all real quick, man. One, we had a good time. We was out in Missouri, out in St. Louis area, having a good time for the 4th of July, kicking it with some family, you know. You know how we do. And so, all right. And so, tonight, we gonna have us a party. Are y'all ready for the night? I'm trying to tell you, listen. Call your homies, because it's on and popping tonight. Yeah, Hey, Delicious.
Hey.
Looking all lovely and things.
And I'm feeling alright.
Go on, say that
y'all.
thing. You feeling what?
Hey.
Did y'all hear crush the nose real quick?
I am so tired in my body. In
Yeah.
my soul. I was tired, y'all. How y'all doing? I'm your girl, Tamika.
It's your boy, E-Rock Nim, a.k.a. Chef E-Rock Nim, warming up the meal tonight.
We keep it real.
We keep it raw.
We keep it uncut.
All day.
We are
Marriage Takeover.
Listen, we help couples win in their marriage by identifying their triggers and breaking generational cycles.
Boom.
All right, so if you are here for the first time, go ahead and drop a 1 down there in the chat for us.
Drop a 1 in that thing.
You are tuning in to Kitchen Conversations over here every Thursday evening. But we are cooking in the kitchen or warming up in the kitchen or eating in the kitchen on a Thursday night and welcoming you all into our home and into our space and just having a conversation with you guys. So welcome. I see a couple of ones. Welcome. So welcome. This is your first time. And if you've been riding with us for a little while, go ahead and drop that 2 down there. Thank you guys for loving on us. Thank you guys for hanging tight with us. Thank you guys for riding with us. Thank you for your love and your support, for putting up with us, for taking up for us.
I appreciate you.
For taking up for us as well. We saw somebody was in the chat last week and my daughter was like, you know what, Mama, they got them. They was like, yeah, get out of here with that foolishness. So we appreciate you guys so much and we love y'all and we do not take it lightly at all that you all support us and that you hang tight with us. So thank you again so much for your support.
Thank you.
Your love.
Thank you.
Tonight, y'all, we got a whole agenda topic hotline set up for you guys. One of the first things we want to do, there were a couple of questions the last 2 kitchen conversations that we didn't get a chance to get to. So we want to make sure that we are offering that space up as well. And we hope everybody had a good 4th of July.
Did you have a 4th?
Was it more couples prayer?
Did you have a
kitchen conversation?
Did you have a good 4th of July? Go ahead and put that. I did.
I know. We hope everybody had a good one. We were in St. Louis, and we had a good time. You know, they do 4th of July big up in St. Louis.
That's a whole nother thing.
That is like a whole nother holiday. So like it was big. So yeah, it was big.
They celebrated the 4th and Juneteenth all over. I'm trying to tell you, I ain't mad at it. I wasn't mad at it.
So we had a good time. And back. So we got back today and a little tired from the time difference. And then I tried to stay up a little late because I didn't want to miss the flight out. So I stayed up a little later. And y'all, that is catching up with me at this point.
Catching up, done caught up. Holla at me.
Listen, I need a nap, but I know at this point,
but y'all know me.
I need to go to bed.
I'm about to bring that energy. Why? It's me.
I know.
It's me.
So tonight.
Hey, hold on. Before we get started, I think we got some comments coming through real quick. I don't know because I think all us tired, y'all. So please bear with us. Because our moderator's like, listen, I'm tired. Listen, I'm tired now. Y'all let me alone. So, real quick, though, what's that? What's that say right there, honey?
I don't know, baby.
Okay.
I'm going to let the moderator do what the moderator do.
Yeah. I ain't going to get it.
Where's my phone at? I think I'm supposed to be on IG. I'm supposed to be on IG, aren't I?
Supposed to be on something, mama.
Let me grab my phone.
Hey, bear with us. We still trying to catch up a little bit. Thank you, Sonya. We had a good time. You hear me? No, Monday morning's prayer. No, that was actually my brother's house. Him and his lovely wife.
Right, and he left me the couple's prayer.
I was out playing golf for couple's prayer.
Like he was on the golf course.
Hey, she had a good time, right? I
was like, he said, baby, you wasn't on there long. I said, well, the people wasn't on there long either.
It's everybody want couple prayer on Monday. It's all right. It's all right. Didn't y'all have a blessed time, those that was there?
Oh, mercy.
Look at it. Look at
it. All right, y'all.
Oh, man.
So, don't burn up the stuff.
I'm not, baby. I'm warming it. Warming it. It's almost ready.
Okay. All right, y'all. So, what's on the menu tonight, babe?
What is on the menu tonight? What is on the menu is pizza from somebody else. Chef E-Rock did not do it. Oh, all right now. There it is. Look at that. Already ready.
Let me see here. IG, I'm coming. I'm coming, baby. I'm coming. All right. So, we got IG. All right. I am live.
Miss Shipman, you say you can't be here long. I understand. You got to practice. You got to do what you got to do. I understand.
All right, you guys. So, questions, comments? We doing questions and comments with the moderator right now? No? So, one of the last questions that came through that we didn't get a chance to do is what do you do when your husband's family doesn't like you and the husband leaves you out and tries to keep you separate from them? And then he takes up for them.
When they're doing wrong, child.
When they're doing wrong.
And being disrespectful.
Disrespectful. So what do you do when your not now. So what do you do when your spouse, when he's keeping up with his family, taking sides with his family, leaving you out of stuff, and he's being taking on their side when they're being disrespectful and they not, respecting you, not respecting your space, not respecting your household, not respecting your rules. Like, what do you do?
Has that happened to anybody before? Drop one. He's like, yeah, child, I've been there, done that.
You can put mine in the microwave, baby. I'm not hungry right now.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure for eating. I'm good over.
Yeah, what do you do, right? What do you do in that space?
Well, for me, I think you got to start it with a conversation, having a conversation.
Everything starts with conversation, y'all. Everything starts with conversation. I see some comments coming in. What do you do?
Someone said there must be a serious conversation, a sit down between the two.
Yeah,
serious conversation to sit down between. And it's so important to be able to do that sooner rather than later, because you got to get to hey, what's going on? Like, you married me, and I'm still trying to figure out why the family is coming in and you taking up for your family instead of the family that you married. Like what's going on? You supposed to separate for your family, leave away from your parents, and then be able to come and start anew, start afresh. So let's talk about why we aren't able to do that. What is it that is hindering you from being able to be a support for your family that you have married, that you said, we're starting anew, we are making our own foundation, we are starting our own legacy, we are doing our own thing? That's question number one. Like, what is it that you won't diminish or stop the conflict?
That's the thing right there. That's the thing right there.
And when that takes place, guess what? So leadership, right?
I'm sorry, before you hit that one.
Baby, what we not gonna do is you gonna be sitting there smacking and eating while you talking with this food all in your mouth.
I ain't gonna do that.
That's what we not gonna do.
I ain't want you to move too fast. But no, the one thing is, what I was saying was that, see, you made me lose my train of thought.
Baby, I'm just saying, you still see why we not gonna. Yeah,
it was good though.
Okay,
why I say it was good?
Set aside the pizza. It'll come back. If it was that good, it'll come back. But we can't do that.
But it came back. So the one thing is that a lot of times I don't think we really understand when it talks about leave your family and cleave to your wife. A lot of times we don't understand what that is really saying, because I'll be honest with you. Like, there's a point in time where I had to let my mom know. It's like, look, I understand that you might understand their background, but it's like, listen, mom, like, yo, but this is mine. Either we can coexist in peace or the latter. And it's like, because you have to stand up for what's yours.
Yeah.
If you're going to stand at the altar and say, I do,
right, now
you got to put things in perspective. Now, I understand if wife or husband, if you're just trying to pull them totally away from their family, now I got to put a question mark on that joint.
Right.
Because now there's something else is going on. But even if the families don't like each other, it's just like Romeo and Juliet. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
It's y'all remember that song, Romeo? Anyway,
for a minute that sounded like you was about to start spitting some bars.
I was about to start dropping some bars on. But like, for real though, it's like, listen, because this is our love, and the one thing like my mom had more respect because I stood up for what's mine.
But it took a minute.
It didn't take no minute.
It took a minute.
It did not take no minute.
It took a minute. And here's why I believe that it took a minute. Only because Like, so what we have to understand, right, when we are being married to our spouses, their family, they've known their family all their life, right? Their family is a part of them. Their family is like, you know, they was wiping butts, they was crying, they was there for every situation of their life. And now it's time to separate from that. And so sometimes it's hard for parents to really let their children go. So that's why, like, unless you wrote your own vows, right? In the vows, it specifically identifies, okay, who's giving this child away.
Right.
And so in that, who's giving this child, who's giving the wife away, who's giving her away, it gives a whole lineup of what you were able to do, what you were able to accomplish, and what you were promising to do, which is allowing them to be free,
right.
Which is allowing them to go on their journey, which is allowing them for you not to interfere, which is allowing you to give them space to make their own mistakes, to give them space not to be overbearing, to give them space so that they can learn how to grow and love to eat together with one another.
Right.
Questions, comments? You still talking with your mouth full of food. This is gonna be a short kitchen conversation, y'all.
So confront the situation. Build your own lives. Definitely come to the table in love and grace, not with your battle clothes on, ready to quarrel.
Absolutely, absolutely.
E-Rock, back away from that slice.
I know,
hey, bro.
Right?
And you can't have two households, period. And then you gotta question the chat.
Okay, you want to write that down?
Wait, and then it said, my husband refused to do this. Thanks for this. And then, good evening. How are you today?
Hey, everybody.
Hey, is your husband now?
Baby. Y'all, it's really about to be a situation if he does not put this food down.
Okay.
And trying to chew and eat while he is talking.
I won't say nothing. I'll chew the last piece.
No, you need to talk.
What?
Oh my gosh.
So
yes you have. Yes you have.
What I have?
You had the knots.
Oh, my bad.
You did. So, so when they're not willing to do that, then the question is, like, help us to understand why you're not willing to do it. And maybe that's the conversation started. Like, hey babes, like, help me to understand this, because I really do love you. Like, I love you. I want to make sure that this is going to work. But I don't understand why we can't have our space, and I don't understand why you're still allowing your family to have certain situations or be disrespectful, or why you're not standing up to them. Like, help me so that, because I really want to understand. Like, I know you love them. I know they love you. I know that you've been with them for all of your life. I get that. But help me to understand why there's so much friction.
But also, because I'm done, also, and helping to understand, the question is, do you also come, a wife or a husband, whoever, do you also come with that understanding and trying to have the conversation? You know what I mean? Because this is something serious.
And not getting upset, like when, and it's probably hard to not get upset, right? Because you feel the blows, you feel the things, and what it makes you feel like you're not worthy enough to be chosen. It makes you feel not valued enough. It makes you feel like aren't number one. It makes you feel some kind of way when you said I do to you, but it doesn't feel that way. So now it's really coming to the table. It's like, listen, help me to understand this, because and the reality is, whether it's the husband or the wife and their family, whoever side is on, to be a leader,
right,
you have to make sometimes the hard decisions. One of the hardest things, y'all, I grew up with my mother. She was a single parent. When I tell you that lady worked herself to death is what she did. And one of the hardest things that I had to do was to tell my mom that we could not continue to give her money. That was one of the hardest things. We made a vow, we made a pact with my sister and I, because it was just us. Like, we were the three. We saw how she struggled. We saw how she, literally, we saw how she worked. We were in the house, like, we could see the remnants of her not having. And we always vowed, whenever we got out, whenever we started making money, whenever we started, doing whatever, we were going to always take care of mom.
Right.
Well, I don't know what it was, But every time I got a bonus, every time I got a something, any kind of extra money, it was just like that radar went off, and she knew, and she would come in. The ask would always happen whenever we got the extra money.
And I want, if it's all right, I just want to put it in perspective. I mean, it wasn't to the point. It wasn't like, hey, you know, a couple hundred, I'll take care of this bill.
It was like pay mortgage.
It was like thousands of dollars.
Right. It was like mortgage. It was like, oh, my taxes are behind on the property. Can you pay the taxes? And as much as I loved her, like the first, you know, couple of times, it was like, yeah, no problem, no problem. And then Eric started looking at me sideways. Now, my mom was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
She was not like a horrible in-law at all. But she was amazing.
She loved me.
He started looking at me sideways like, yo, like, we had plans for that money. Like, what's going on?
No, but remember that one time, though, when you asked when it was, I was like, you know what? Because I kind of understand the relationship, because it was the same thing, you know what I'm saying, on my side. But it's like, well, we can't foot this bill because this part is already gone.
Right.
And so when you now eyes became open when our house started falling short.
And then initially when we first started, I was not communicating to Eric. I was just giving my mother money. That's mistake number one.
That was number one. Go ahead, babe. What you got?
Questions, comments?
Some mothers think it's disrespectful towards them because that's their child. Yes, my husband is here. He will never set boundaries with his mother. And then someone has said they just went to Jamaica to meet their mother-in-law for the first time in person after 5 years of marriage.
Awesome.
With their
Sweet.
2 kids and her mother, because her mom wanted them all to come with her husband.
That's awesome.
That's good.
And the mother-in-law kicked them out, yelling and screaming profanities.
Oh, Lord.
That ain't good.
No, that ain't good.
But the husband stood up for them, and
Come on.
he asked.
I'm asking.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah.
And the husband, and the wife, she's asking, how do I console my husband and help him through this hurt she has caused?
Ooh, that is so good.
But that one thing that you have to continue to reaffirm your husband, because he knows what he lost in that, and he knows there's a rift in that. Because understand, I mean, I can truly understand that what I had to deal with is not to that magnitude. But what you want to tell what you did when
I was going to say, one of the first things that you can do, which I'm sure you already have, is to celebrate him and thank him so much for standing up. Thank him for, baby, thank you for being there. Thank you for, I know that was so hard for you to do, and I don't even understand how to do it. So let me know how I can support you in this space.
Yeah.
Because I know that your mother meant a lot to you, and I know that it meant a lot to you to introduce your entire family.
Yeah.
And I want to, if I can help in any way to bridge that gap, let's do this together.
Yeah.
But I want to thank you so much for standing up and being the leader and taking care of your family and making sure that, you know, you really stood up to us. And that says a lot when it comes to your mom.
Yeah.
And so if there's any way that I could do that, like I don't know what we can do, but if there's anything, just let me know.
Right.
Because there are also sometimes some cultural barriers.
Right.
And sometimes the parents are upset because for whatever reason they didn't marry the person that they wanted to marry, or for whatever reason it might be a cultural barrier.
Right.
For whatever reason they may not understand.
Right.
They may not understand like why you decided to go the route that you went. And so sometimes the parents are holding on to the unforgiveness. Sometimes the parents are holding on to the unbroken, you know, like the broken dreams. And
sometimes they're holding on to the hurt.
Right.
Because
it hurt Eric's mom. He's the baby.
Yeah.
It hurt, when I tell you, hurt her to her heart.
Yeah.
For him to get married and for him to move, because we didn't just get married, y'all. We got married and moved away.
Moved across the country. You hear me?
We moved away.
From one corner of the U.S. to the other corner.
Right. And it wasn't like intentional, like we're going to get married and we moving away from all of our family. It wasn't intentional. I was in the military and we were, you know, the puppy love. We were like, all right, if we're going to make this stick, like now is the time to say we're going to do what we supposed to do or we just ain't going to do it.
Oh, yeah.
And that was why we made the decision. And then, of course, I went off the basic, went off the tech school. And then my first set of orders, I was like, what?
What they do that?
We're going where?
Right. But
like people they live over there?
Right. And so sis, when you have empathy for your husband and reassuring him, like, baby, thank you for truly standing up for your family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, you know what? Now you know. I'm gonna tell you one thing, sis. Now you know your husband got you.
Yeah.
And so you got to let him know, baby, I got you too. It don't it got to the point as far as with me and her. I told her, I was like, listen, come hell or high water, it's me and you.
Right.
It's me and you. And granted, and the thing that we pray is that the mother come around to see how awesome the family is.
Right.
Because they'll begin to look at it and be like, you know, it's like, dang, I'm missing out on watching my grandkids grow up. I'm missing, you understand what I'm saying? So continue to support him and let him know, like, baby, I got you, just like what wifey was saying. And so when the husband stands up for their family, that speaks volume to the wife.
And continue to pray for his mother as well.
Right.
And their family, because hurt people hurt people.
Right.
I don't care what anybody says, hurt people hurt people. And as a result of whatever that took place, there was some type of hurt, there was some type of disappointment, there was some type of something that she maybe could not communicate or to express the way that she wanted to. So that was why it turned out the way that it turned out.
I'm trying to tell you.
So continue, God. I'm just asking that you would heal her heart. Mm-hmm. Because whatever she's going through, whatever she's dealing with, Lord, heal her heart and expose the hand of the enemy. Mm-hmm. And so as we're going through that process and we're praying for our in-laws, because here's the deal. When we combat it with flesh, we always lose the battle.
Right.
We always lose the battle. And next week we're starting with a couples prayer challenge. And we'll give techniques, we'll do certain things, but then also the practical exercises as to how do you do this?
Right.
Like how should I be, Lord, teach me how to give grace and extend grace to my in-laws when they don't, like, they just nasty.
Right.
When they don't do nothing that they're supposed to do, when they, so, it was some things, even when they're supposed to be Christians, even when they're supposed to be saints. Teach me how to be the light in that example.
And the thing is that because a lot of times you hear, just pray about it. But how do I go through this?
Yeah.
How do I deal? How do I date? I need more than prayer.
We need more than prayer. We have to do something different in addition to prayer. Questions, comments?
She said, "Thank you both so much. Yes, will be very prayerful for her.
Yeah.
And all who have been affected in this situation, thank you."
You're very well. And you know what? Send a handwritten card.
Oh, yeah.
Send a handwritten card and just saying, hey, listen.
Part of love.
I'm not sure exactly what happened. I don't know how or why we got to the point to where we got. But I just want you to know that we do love you. I want you to know that we want to make sure that we can bridge this gap. Because we want our children to be a part of your lives.
Right.
And we want to be a part of your lives. So we're praying for you. If there's any way that we can, support or to bridge this gap, I just want you to know that we're here for it. And we love you and we thank you so much for raising in such an amazing son.
That's it right there. Yeah. That's it right there.
Yeah.
So drop that note. And it's not gonna make it shouldn't make nothing worse. But you, from that caring heart, and then you also taking the time to let him know, I care about how you're feeling, honey.
Right.
So how can I serve you in that? So
Right.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
So what's up, y'all?
What it do?
I miss y'all.
Miss you too.
We miss you too. Is that on Facebook? We miss you too.
And then the question: how do you deal with do you guys have a topic? Or can I ask?
Go ahead.
Okay. How do you deal with a controlling wife?
Ooh.
Oh Lord, how did I deal with you, honey?
Tell the people.
Lord have mercy.
Bless them on today.
Oh Lord, Jesus, you know how to hit that question now.
Bless them on today.
Oh Lord have mercy, Jesus. Where do I start? Where do I begin? But no, real talk though, and the thing is, because the one thing,
right, you doing too much emphasis on that. Ooh, Lord,
Lord have mercy.
Pipe her down just a little bit.
Woo, glory! I feel No, but real talk though, is that when you're, because one thing that I got to understand, the moment I understood why she was controlling, then I had a little bit more empathy. And so then, therefore, baby, think about it.
Did you?
When I understood why, how many times did we bump? Then it was like, okay, baby, tell me
how long
why.
did it take us to figure out?
It took us 11 years.
It took us, I thought, more than 11 years.
No, not before, no. Okay, it took us 12 years. It took us 12 years.
It was a long time, y'all.
It took us,
a long time.
I know when I started practicing on it, it took us 12 years, basically when we came from the time of divorce. And so when I say come from the time, me and we was getting ready to go at year 10 and 11, for us, we almost went to divorce.
Yeah.
And so understanding when she started, okay, 15 years. So she started making the change for the better. But then when I began to see her be blessed, then I started making a change for the better. And then when it came out on the reason, when we got to the core of why she was controlling, then I was able to have empathy. But what that allowed me to do, it allowed me to let her know, to give her that security of saying, babe, I got it. Right. I know what I'm doing. It's fine. It's not going to be done the way you like it because this is the way I do it. So it was that when I began to let her know, look, you're secure right here. Ain't nothing going to happen to you no more. And so because in the first 15 years, we was like rams. Like, yo, you ain't just shout, I don't know who you think you are, but that ain't it.
Well, maybe first 11.
Nah, because remember the changes started taking place, and when we actually started getting to the root of the issue.
Well, that's why I said the first 11, because after that, I really started. 11 was, because year 10 and 11 was when we were almost on the brink of divorce.
Right.
And then it was after that. So year 12 was when I started to do the work.
Right. And when she started to do the work, yeah. I'm pissed off. For me, it was a whole nother 3 years I was making like hell.
But I didn't entertain it. That's what I'm saying.
But you're missing. You're not answering the question. I'm trying to answer the question.
Okay.
So in to answer your question, bro, it's important that you get it's important that you get to the core of why.
Yeah.
You got to get to the core of why, because a lot of times from what we have learned and understanding from what we have learned, even statistically, is that most women that are very controlling has been violated in their youth.
Not so much as violated, but here's where I want to be a blessing. So if there is some type of control, whether it's from the wife or the husband, there is
violated or hurt. Go ahead.
There is the reason why they are hurt is because something took place inside of their life that they were not able to control.
That's it. That's it right there.
Something took place in their life, whether they were abandoned at a young age, whether they were sexually violated at a young age, whether they were physically violated at a young age, whether they were left on their own to try to defend for themselves, whether they had to grow up taking care of themselves. There was some type of situation where they were not able to be in control. And there is a great element of not being able to trust somebody, because when they did trust somebody before, they let them down. So as a result of that, their protection mechanism is to say, well, I'm going to do this. Right. I'm going to make sure that I'm calling the shots, that I'm moving all the moves, so I'll never ever be back in that situation.
Yep. That's it. And so
it's important for you to know that.
Right.
And it also is important to know that it's a root of fear. It's
a root of fear.
Now, what you can't go do is go and therapize them and be like, baby, so what you afraid of?
Don't do that.
Like, what happened to
you? Do not do that. I'm warning you now. Do not do that.
Don't do that. But
what you do is, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, but what you do is understanding that, so basically the root of it is fear. You got to continue to just let her know that you got her secured. It's not about what you say, it's about what you do.
Right.
It's not, and see, don't listen to outside folk talking saying, oh, you handpegging, no. Don't listen to outside folk. Why? Because they're not in your house. And as you continue, and even while you're doing that, and continue, and I'm telling you, continue to pray, because that's what I had to do. Continue to pray, and I'm telling you, things will show up and change. But see, that's, and a lot of times us men, we got those times that we have to be humble, because now it's about her being healed and her knowing, baby, I got you.
And make sure that you start therapy or you get into a good marriage support group so that you can start healing the healing process.
Right.
Because oftentimes, like when I was doing the controlling, I didn't realize I was controlling.
Right.
Nobody could have told me that I was controlling. I was like, no, I'm just doing what I do. I'm not being controlling. I'm just doing what I do. And what I do is I take care of this, I take care of that, because if I don't take care of it, it doesn't get done.
Right.
Like, it's just me moving and doing what I've always been doing.
Come on.
And so it's become a part of me.
You better
and
say
as
that.
a result of it becoming a part of me, I don't realize, oh, you controlling. Oh, you this. Oh, you that. So now it's like, it's driving everybody around me crazy, but I didn't realize that was my issue.
Right. And so the thing is, because once you try to therapize her thinking you got all the answers,
She gonna check out.
yeah. And now you're going to make the matters worse versus actually, remember, if she like to control, she's going to protect her.
Right. It's a protection mechanism.
And so,
Just so that you understand that. And sometimes we feel like, because we've always done things and we do things very well, the lie that we told ourselves is if I don't do it, it won't get done and it won't get done right.
Right.
That's the lie that we told ourselves. So there might be something that we've asked our husband to do, or you might have asked your wife to do, and if they don't do it to the caliber or to the level that you like for it to be done,
right.
guess what? We're going to just take the reins and we just going to go do it. Because it wasn't done the way that we thought that it should be done.
And that's where that communication comes into play. And that's why I had to let her know, I was like, listen, you're not doing this. I am. Right. So you're just going to have to trust the caliber of what I do.
And I'm telling you, it was a painful process, y'all. But I think I'm good. I'm much better than what I used to be. Let me tell you,
now she's like honestly, it's like day and night. It's literally that's the turnaround that she has truly made, because the thing is, when she became aware of it, I didn't point it out to her. When she came, you gotta understand how we did it. No, don't say it don't tell the folks like that. Well, I did come a little strong every now and then.
Right, be honest with people.
But when it came down to it, she was like, well, honey, let me know when it's showing up, because she didn't know.
Right, that was when I was starting the battle of when it was recognizing it. Yeah, right. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Let me know because I wanted to become the best version of me. And so if that's showing up at home, it's showing up everywhere else. It's showing up at work. It's showing up when we go to different places. To the point now, when we're in different groups or we're doing certain things, it was people, for whatever reason, people always was like, oh yeah, you're going to be in charge. You'll be the leader of this group, or you'll facilitate this group. I'm like, I don't want to do it. Because I understand now that I don't have to be the leader.
Right.
I don't have to be in control. I don't have to manipulate the outcome.
Right. And so, right. And to be honest with you, we still have one hurdle to jump over, and we still working through it.
Which one is that one?
It's the one when I'm driving.
Oh yeah.
So when I'm driving, she's still in the side seat, back seat, behind whatever seat she's sitting in. She still want to be that driver.
We leaving the airport today, y'all, and literally by the time we left the airport to the time we got home, almost 3 different accidents.
That's a lie.
It was 3 different accidents.
According to her, either way. Listen, do you want to drive?
The sensor went off twice. I'm trying, y'all. I'm so trying.
And that's what I'm saying.
Driving.
But it's like I understand, and I was like, listen, I'm behind the wheel. I got it. Now, if you want to drive, you can get over here. I don't mind. But she's like, okay, but I don't want to drive. All right, well, I'm going to need you to sit there, and talk about the trees. You can let me know when the light changes if I'm not paying attention. Ooh, but no, turn there. Go over whoa, time out. I want to went that way. That's fine. I'm behind the wheel. That is fine. So, but again, this is where we've been. And
that is so true.
But do it. But for me, if I'm already aggravated and she gets in the car, like, listen, it's gonna be a little bit different. But then I still got to remind myself, say, listen, baby, I'm not today. I can't do it today. So I'm gonna need you to try your best to sit there and be quiet while I drive. And I told my daughter today, I got to get my car out the shop. I got to get it out the shop. I got to get it out the shop. But it's real. It is so real. But look at it. You see how we're sitting here laughing about it?
Right.
Because we understand that it is a
real.
working progress.
Yes. Yes, Lord.
I'm not going to tell you that, oh, we're completely over it. No. Because it shows up, it showed up in every area. Now, once I think our final hurdle is driving. So I think that's what it is. Any questions?
Somebody dropped something in the chat. You got the moderator cracking up.
Hey, and I'm gonna be so honest with you, and I'm so serious. Like in our couples prayers and 5-day challenge, right? But on day 3, when we talked about sanctifying the spouse, literally, that's the type of prayer I had to go into. Like, Lord,
you had to do today?
Lord Jesus, you hear me? You like, baby, when you was like, baby, it's a green light. I was like, ooh, amen, amen.
You did not.
Amen.
No, you did not.
Questions, comments.
No, you didn't.
Miss Tyra said, "Nah, I don't think you can drive."
Child, please.
Listen, he be so distracted, y'all. I'm like, boo. He be so distracted.
Look at her beauty, Slim. I'm always distracted.
It ain't even my beauty. He be somebody call him or text him, or somebody text him, he be like, "Babes, who is that? Can we just wait till we get to where we going? Like, do you have to respond right now?"
It's important. It could be the fellas.
It's important. No, don't do it. I'm just like, babes, no, put the phone down. How can I help you?
Easy.
Do we need to respond back?
Read the text?
I can read the text message to you, but do we have to respond right now?
Yes. I need you to send the text so you can start trying to tell me how to drive.
Just wait. Oh, is that the goal?
Hey, that's what it is. Hey, read the text. Read the text. Hey, any questions, comments?
It is a mess.
He said, "Real is the best. I'm not married currently, but this is informative."
Oh, sweet.
How y'all doing?
What it do?
Hey. So I hope that answered your question to the husband. Yes, go ahead.
He added more information.
Go ahead.
He also changed the way that he talks and treats her and gave her what she wanted, and it's gotten worse. And he asked another question. He said, to E-Rockman, how do you humble yourself when she's being difficult? They have a couple other questions after that.
Yes.
Ooh.
Honestly, it's an ego and pride issue. And so when you talk about humble yourself, it's like this. You know what? I understand that it's a phase right now. And so until we can get to the bottom of the hurt, because a lot of times we don't always necessarily want to get to the bottom of why, or get to the root issue or the root cause of what the issue may be. And so then therefore it's like, you know what? I'm gonna humble myself. And it's like at one point I just had to let her do her thing. Like, okay, you do your thing, but I'm so serious. It's okay if I be 100 with you.
Yeah.
Go ahead and drop it in the chat. Be real. Keep it 100.
Yeah, please.
And so honestly, I'm so serious. Not because of the prayer challenge is coming next week. It's honestly, I let her do her thing, and I say, God, I need you to help me to deal with this. And I say, and the first thing that came to me was humble yourself. Because if I didn't, then I didn't do nothing but buck against what she was doing versus humbling myself so that I can be able to see what's taking place. I had to, and in me humbling myself, then I begin to understand what sanctifying your wife truly means. Sanctifying your spouse, your wife truly means. Because in that, a lot of that stuff, it was through prayer, and through prayer, it was how I was actually walking out my prayer.
Not only that, God exposed some things to you too.
Can I finish? Can I finish? Thank you.
Go ahead.
And so in that, like she just beat me to the punch, God began to reveal something.
Yeah.
He began to reveal some things. It's like, look at that. Oh, look at that. See, this is where it's coming from. Oh, this is where. So then, and me being humble, then I began to empathize with her. And when she began to recognize, dang, oh, you really do got my back. So then what happened? What happened when I began to empathize with you? What was your what you call it? She didn't try to take it and like she didn't try to use, she didn't think, well, she already knew I wasn't a soft person. So she took that as like, dang, he really sees me. Am I right with that?
I mean, not really.
But, baby, I don't know.
You just told me, can I talk? So I'm trying to let you talk.
Now you see, now she trying to show y'all she ain't trying to be controlling. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You just
Go
said,
ahead.
can I talk?
You know,
So I'm trying to let you talk.
I said, can I finish? I did not say, can I talk? Y'all see, I talk. Y'all praying for me? Are y'all praying for me? Please.
I think too, what you did was in the revelation process too, like when God started to reveal to you, and you showed the empathy. What you did was you said, "Hey, listen, let's sit down and have a conversation." Mm-hmm. And so you said, "Hey, I want to take you to dinner, and let's do this, let's do that." And we set a date, and we said, and you told me, you said, "Hey, I really want to know what's going on with you, like really. So I want you to think about all the things that you want to say that you haven't been able to say." And from there, after we had dinner, we went on a little ride, and that was when it kind of all poured out. And from there, we were able to get to like the root cause of, so then we started to bridge the gap again. And then we started to exercise we have a love-hate list. We started to exercise a love-hate list, you know, on a regular basis until we.
Love and need to be improved. Boy, got you.
It was love-hate when we first got it.
Right.
And then, those areas where, you know, we loved about each other, and then those areas where, you know, it needs a little bit more improvement. And not only that does it need a little bit more improvement, instead of doing this, I would appreciate if you were to do this instead. Right. So you're offering a solution with what you don't like about what your spouse is currently doing. Right. So sometimes it changed, sometimes it didn't change, because again, I can't control him, he can't control me. Right. It's really about, okay, do I want to become the best version of who I am? Right. And if I do want to become the best version, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do things differently. I'm going to move differently. I'm going to walk differently. I'm going to, you know, do things that are going to make sure that I'm the best version of who I am, and we're bringing that together to the table. Right.
And see, I'm saying, it's not about changing your spouse.
Right.
Your spouse got to see, dang, this is what's holding me back from what I want to accomplish in life. Right. And that's what it's all about. I'm not, because for one, you don't have no power to change nobody. But when she recognized, like, dang, this is showing up. Even for me, when I recognize, dang, these things are showing up. Oh my God, this is what's holding me back from being the best version of me. This is what's holding me back from my raise, holding me back from whatever the case may be. So it's like, yeah, that's when you begin to humble yourself. Questions, comments.
Has she ever hurt your feelings / pride? How did you stop yourself from wanting to attack back? Please keep it short, because you like 7 other questions.
Okay, real quick.
We might not be able to get to all the other questions, but we'll make sure that we get to it.
Yeah. So on the real, plenty of times. Ooh, plenty of time. And for me, I had to. So I'm gonna be honest. It's alright if I be 100. So during the process, when she first started kind of hurting my feelings a little bit, I ain't gonna lie, I swallowed my pride. Swallowed that joint. Ooh, I mean.
Not the first couple of times, though.
No. I'm talking about when we got to understanding what the issue is. It was. Okay. And so,
but before they understand what the issue is, can you tackle that too?
Okay, before, I'm gonna be honest with you. You got to basically swallow your pride. Don't make the mistakes like I did in the beginning, then it become a shouting match. Everybody talking, ain't nobody listening. Everybody shouting, so everybody closing up, and ain't nobody, one ear out the other, so it's not going to fix anything.
That's good.
Because I'm be honest with you, because I understood what was taking place, what she was dealing with, you got to understand, a lot of times we can be strong when we need to be. And so, understand that I can't lash back, because if I lash back, we're not going anywhere. Right. But this is one thing that hit me, because this is the one thing that I found. Only a fool will argue with itself. And so it was so funny, because when she would cut me deep, you want to know how I responded to her? I said, you are so beautiful. Oh my God, you are so pretty. And literally, She was like, oh, like, wait a minute, what the heck?
Yeah, he did.
She waited on me to attack back, and I said, you know what? You are so beautiful. Yeah. And I mean, no, you just, no, I mean, still trying to stand like, ooh, girl, say it again. Now she thinking I'm being sarcastic. I'm like, no, I'm literally telling you how I feel and how you look towards me. I didn't see, meaning what? I'm looking past all of this that you're trying to hurt me with these daggers. And I'm doing what? And see, this is a part where it says, where he said, love covers a multitude of sins. Even though you're trying to cut me deep, I love you.
And turn a kind word,
and there you go. And she didn't know what to do. Because what? Every kind word that I begin to say, she couldn't argue with it. She tried. But the scripture tells us a kind word turns away wrath. I ain't got time to be going to bed hollering. I heard too much of that growing up. I ain't got time for that right now.
Right. And again, these were the mistakes that we made because nobody was there to tell us or to coach us through.
Right.
And again, hurt people hurt people.
Right.
I was hurt, and because I was hurt and I was mad, I wanted to make sure he was hurting.
Right.
So get to the root of the hurt.
That's it. And don't be trying to rain on my parade because I ain't hurt. Leave me alone.
Get to the root of the hurt.
You got to get to the root of it. And I'm going to be so honest with you all. And I know, because granted, you all know, we love the Lord. And the thing is that God has given us a blueprint. And it's like, we're not just saying, oh, pray about it. No, we show you the steps on how to do it. And let you know how to do it. Full worksheet and all. And so it's like, yo, if you want to be better, I'm not talking, because listen, if you're better, your wife is better, then your marriage is better.
And your children are better.
And your children are better.
And everything
not saying they ain't going to have issues.
But everything around you becomes better.
Right.
Because they notice the difference.
Right.
Yeah.
And you have to continue to keep pushing. And last, we're going to take one more question, but we're going to hold the rest of them for next week. Next week going to be jam-packed. But we're going to hold the rest of them. We're going to get one more question. Is that all right? Drop one in the chat if that's okay. Drop one in the chat if that's okay.
How long have y'all been married?
Huh?
How long have y'all been married?
Okay, that's a quick one.
25 years.
25 years. We working on forever right now.
I know.
Because I'm trying to tell you, the way she was telling me to drive today, I told you, I'm jet lagged. I said, you know what, Lord, I need your help right now.
He jet lagged, but he the only one got sleep.
Who got sleep?
You got sleep last night.
3 hours of sleep,
don't
cool.
Do it. Don't do
You're
it.
snoring.
Call it what you want. But wait a minute, who slept the entire time? I didn't sleep like that.
Last night.
No, I'm talking about the whole trip.
I ain't got nothing wrong.
Yeah. So, yeah. You see what I'm talking about? I'm getting 2 hours of sleep. They get a full 8, then I get 3 hours. Now I'm the one that slept.
I didn't sleep the whole time either.
Hey, that's because that's by choice. That was by choice. Go ahead. Hey, y'all hear the moderator? I didn't get no sleep either.
We can do one more. Does anybody on TikTok have a
question?
question?
A wholesome note or a sad note?
Wholesome.
Okay.
Hold on, wait a minute. Let's hit them both. I just really heard hit both. Give me the sad one first, then we'll end on the wholesome one.
I just found out my husband has been with 18 women in 8 years. How do I get past this?
Jesus.
Hold on, wait a minute. Are you married?
She just
She
said
just
her
found
husband.
Oh, a husband. Oh, how long y'all been married? Did that happen during marriage or before marriage? Ooh.
So for you all during marriage, so this young lady just found out that her husband's been with
18
women
in 8 years.
8 years or 18?
8 years.
In 8 years, and how do you deal with that? Listen.
That's
first. I'm gonna say that I am so sorry that you gotta go through that.
Yeah.
Sorry that you had to find that out.
Right.
Sorry that you had to be in that situation, because there clearly is not something. There clearly is a situation that's going on when it comes to trust and being able to be faithful with your husband. And so I'm so sorry that you even had to experience that. Yeah. And thank you so much for sharing that on today, because I honestly believe that that's going to help free somebody else as well. And I pray that this response also frees you as well to some point and some level of degree.
I can't tap it out right now. I'll be so
what I
honest with
will
you.
say is, right,
Because it's a process.
there's a process, but you have to, number one, you can't control what he does, so you have to make a decision.
Right.
You have to make a decision, and I'm not going to tell you to make that decision right now in your flesh. I'm going to tell you to make sure that you consult with God and make that decision, that you pray and make that decision. You've got every right to you are valuable.
Yes, you are.
Right?
You're very
you
valuable.
are worthy for somebody to be faithful to.
Yeah.
You are worthy for somebody to love you.
Yeah.
You are worthy for somebody to respect you. You are worthy for somebody to treat you like the queen that you are.
Right.
You are worthy for somebody to love you. And the fact that you haven't been able to have that over the last 8 years, I am so sorry, sis. And so, like, a part of me says, hey, you need to leave. A part of me says, hey, you need to make sure that you consult. Whatever you decide to do, whether you decide to leave, whether you decide to stay, the first thing that you have to make sure that you do is you have to make sure that you start some type of therapy and counseling so that you can understand that this was not your fault.
Right.
You have to understand that whatever was risen through the result of what took place that might have hit some triggers inside of your life that made you feel like you weren't good enough, that made you feel like you weren't worthy enough, that made you not feel seen, not feel valued, not feel loved. You got to make sure that you start the therapy inside of that space.
Right.
That's number one where I will say to start.
Yeah. And
regardless
to
of whether you decide to stay or whether you decide to
whatever
leave.
the Lord is leading you to. Yeah.
We don't ever tell anybody to leave their marriage. We don't ever tell anybody to stay in their marriage. We always ask, what is God saying?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be held responsible for the decision,
for your decision
that you have to make, because you know the consequences that come as a result of whatever you decide to do. And we will support you in whatever way that you decide.
So, and I mean, honestly, we I'm gonna leave it right. I gotta leave. I have to leave that one right there because even if you confront, there means that there is some type of behavior pattern that has not been stopped. Right.
That means that there is some type of level of disrespect that hasn't been taken care of, or some type of addiction, or some type of
Say it again. And honestly, and in that, the issue is not with you. The issue is with them.
It's with them. And
so you gotta understand, it's not your issue, because when you say I do, we still have to make the conscious decision to do what we do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's that part where there is no self-control. Right. And so our heart goes out to you in this. So
my heart
but
goes
for real,
out to you. And how do you get over that? Like I said, number one, regardless of what you decide to do,
you got
therapy. Yeah. Therapy is definitely going to be the first stop.
And all therapists are not created equal. So when you got that one that can really help you through, right, for real. And do not be ashamed.
Yeah,
do not be ashamed.
Yeah.
Do not be ashamed. Do not be ashamed.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a tough one now.
Don't be ashamed.
All right.
And I will look back in the chat too. I'm gonna reach out to you tonight.
Where they at, baby? Are they on TikTok or Facebook? Okay.
Yeah.
Just send us a doohickey thingy.
Send us if you're on TikTok, send us a message, or make sure that you're following us so that I can make sure I can message you back. But if you send me a message, I'll message you back.
Send us a message. So
because I want to make sure that you get connected. We've been interviewing therapists.
Just chill. Leave that right there. So just reach out to us in our little link thingy. All right, and we'll get back at you.
Yeah, and I'm so sorry you had to deal with that.
All right, last question. Hey, Aramis, you gonna be at the in Bruh Talk? I see you.
That's about to start.
Yeah, I know. Bruh Talk, we gonna get at it in 14 minutes. All right.
Multiple control. Why I say we're in a good place right now, but I want to do better than someone else. Oh yeah. Mr. Aramis, he said, very good counselors, love you both. And yes, she's worthy, amen. And he said he's going to do that, bro talk. And then, here's another one. He said, it is hard to talk to my husband because it turns into a back and forth. How do I fix this?
Ooh. I thought you had a wholesome one.
My husband gets upset with me because he feels like I get upset over the little things. How can I improve? And then you have one about a husband that's a pastor that prays to church before his family.
Oh! Oh my goodness.
We could tackle all three of them. We're doing a podcast series now, Marriage and Ministry.
Yes, we are. Oof.
I would first like to so two of them are kind of the same, right?
Right.
And all three of them are.
So the two. So it's hard to talk to my husband because it tends to go back and forth. How do I fix this? And my husband gets upset with me because he feels like I get upset over little things. Those are from the same person.
Okay, so that is communication.
Yeah, that's
right?
communication.
So effective communication at its best will be able to
navigate,
turn that situation around.
Yeah.
Right. So being able to, you know how they say, what is it? Women are from Venus and men are from Mars, or is it the opposite way?
Either way, we understand what you're saying.
So you're talking two different languages, like literally.
Right.
And you're saying the same thing, which is crazy. You're saying the same thing, but you're talking two different languages.
Right.
Sometimes. And so sometimes when you are communicating something, and it might seem like the husband might be getting upset because it's, it's over the small things. Well, in him, it's the. Well, you want to do it, baby?
No,
you go ahead.
I'm saying.
You go ahead and do it. You go ahead and answer.
Y'all see that?
All
I'm saying is I got 15.
Make it quick. I can't make it quick. You make it quick.
Well, go and hit it then. You're saying it. Now
so in that process, you want to make sure that the little thing, what is the little thing to him? Identify what the little thing is, right? Because so to you it's a little thing, but to him it's a big thing. And so you want to find out why it's a big thing to him and just a little thing to you. And so it really is going to be about communication. Hey, babes, when I do this or when I ask this question or when I say this, why does that bother you so much? Like, I really want to make sure that I'm working on my communication. And I just want to know, like, can you help me to understand what is this?
Right.
That agitates you so much to where it just stops the conversation. So it really is about effective communication.
Yeah.
And yeah.
That's what's up.
So I hope that helped.
Right.
And then maybe we could tackle it a little bit deeper because I know Eric is trying to rush me. Y'all, normally he want to be on here, but because Bro Talk, he does have Bro Talk tonight.
Hey, Slim, Bro Talk. Listen, if you're not in the membership. Fellas, if you're not in the membership, Bro Talk be off the hook. So that's why I'm like, listen, we gotta hurry up. Bro Talk might get started.
Y'all record this because he has never rushed me off of Kitchen Conversations. Never.
Hey, listen. Hey, I got 10 minutes. Hey, baby girl, what was that one? How the pastor put the church before the
How do you deal with a husband who is a pastor and puts the church before his family?
I just want to know, is your husband right there with you right now?
Don't put the pastor on blast, baby. Just answer the question.
Okay, I'm gonna put it to just like this. And so understand this. One, wife, you are of the 1%. Because can't anybody just be married to a leader? And so this is the thing. One, leader, pastor, you still have to order your house just as you do the house of God. Because above the head of every man is who? Christ. And so understanding is that, hey, my household comes first. And this is what I'm saying. Wife, is when you understand the call that is on his life, you have to make sure that you're understanding, okay, all right, Lord, what it is you want to talk about, because just last week we was rushing back to get back to the church, but it was ooh, you know what? I honestly, because of Bro Talk, I really cannot, because it is so much in it for me, in order for me to really get it to where to deliver it. It's not like a one word. It's not a one word answer.
Here's what I'll also offer and share too, sis. One of the things that, well, a couple of things. Number one, with all due respect,
with all due respect,
he's out of order, right? The alignment of how God created marriage. And when God created the church, he created marriage before he created and established the church.
Right.
So your marriage, your family should always be first.
But you got to have a conversation. Go ahead.
Now, how do you communicate that to somebody who is gung-ho and saying, hey, listen, like, we got to be to the church. We got to do this. We got to do this, because they really do feel and they really do believe that everything that they're doing for the church is supposed to be first, and they're doing for the ministry is supposed to be first, because that's what we've been taught.
Right.
And it's not correct. That's out of alignment and out of order.
It's out of order
for how God created and established a marriage.
See, that's why I love my wife.
So how do we fix it? A couple of things, right? Number one,
communicate.
You definitely have to communicate, but even sometimes when you communicate it, they really might believe and feel like that's the case. They might be like, yeah, no, you're hindering the ministry, even if you communicate. So what you have to be active in doing and praying and saying, God, show me how to have the wisdom and expose the things that you want for our family. Like, expose those things to show my husband, number one, that marriage should be number one. Then number two, show me, God, how to put the people in a position to where they aren't dependent upon the pastor.
Watch out now.
Because that's where sometimes the challenge lies.
The boundaries.
The boundaries, the challenges, whatever you want to call it, because the people feel like they gotta have the pastor. The pastor feels like, I gotta be there for the people. And so you don't need the pastor to pray. You can pray for yourself. You don't need the pastor to always be there every moment. So God, show me how we can lead a people to where they're truly trusting you, God, and trusting the God through my husband, so that now he can feel where he doesn't need to always be present for the people.
Right.
Because the people are going to pray, because the leaders will stand up, because there will be a support system surrounded around the ministry to where the pastor doesn't necessarily always have to be there. And then there is now a culture being established that the marriage, the family comes first, and he can then now disseminate that across the rest of the ministry.
Yeah.
But it's going to take wisdom to do that, because for years we've been taught that the church trumps everything in our life, and that's not true.
And just
because we are the church.
And to let you know, yeah, we do understand what you are talking about. We really do understand what you're talking about. And so I'm telling you, honestly, We're
doing an entire podcast about marriage and ministry.
A whole podcast series.
For that reason, because
yeah,
marriages are failing and families are failing and churches are crumbling because we don't understand how God aligned everything.
So let me just hit you with this real quick. Just real quick. For one, out of all I had to make sure I got it right too. So basically, out of all marriages, 50% of them, anywhere from 40 to 50% went to divorce. But out of that 50%, 38% of it are church folk.
Yeah, the Christians. Yeah,
the Christians.
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand why is out of the 50% of divorces that took place in America, this is up to 2020. We talking 38% were Christians. So, and this is because, like, come on, something ain't right there. And so, and for me now, and we can break it down and tell you what it all looks like, because a lot of times I'm about to listen.
Yeah.
I got 5 minutes, and so listen. Join the couples prayer. We gonna break that sucker down a whole lot.
We really are going to dive into it during couples prayer.
You might want to jump in that VIP for that one. Yeah,
it's absolutely free. Again,
but the VIP isn't. Go ahead.
Yeah, the VIP is not free, but no knock on the church, right?
There's no knock.
We've been taught and we've been trained this. So now it's really about, okay, what did the Word of God say?
Period.
What does the Bible say, and how are we supposed to exercise this and move and breathe in how God really established it?
Right.
And not feel like the people need me.
Right.
No, the people need the God in you.
Right.
The people need the gifts that God has established and bestowed upon you. The people need what God has in you. But guess what? the house ain't happy, if the house ain't right, then
Come on.
how are the gifts flowing?
Come on.
If the house is not doing what
Come
it's
on.
supposed to do, and you're not being rejuvenated, and you're not being poured into, and you're not pouring into each other, and God is not being established inside of the home
Come
because
on.
all the different things are taking place, then what
Come on.
what are we pouring and how are we serving
Yeah.
the people?
Yeah. And, ooh, come on. Listen.
And so, go ahead. It's really just about getting back in alignment with what God wants.
And understanding, for me, I don't want to save the world and my own home go to hell. And I'm putting it like that because and this is exactly what I told the Lord. I said, Lord, I don't want to see nobody else's life if I cannot see what's going on in my own home.
And then establish boundaries. Like, so for Eric, I put a cutoff. When we first started ministry, oh no, after 9 o'clock, we don't get no phone calls. If somebody passed away, somebody died, I'm so sorry. We're going to talk to you in the morning.
We'll catch you in the morning and we'll do what we got to do.
Listen, we will serve you in the morning, but after 9 o'clock.
But hold on. But when it's a 911, they call her first.
Yeah. Well, and because that's what we established.
Exactly.
You call me if it's an emergency, and it's got to be established. Because after 9 o'clock, I think there is a respect level and a boundary level. Because most of the population in the church, they're females. So we established this boundary. Hey, after 9 o'clock, phone go to answer machine.
Yeah.
Like, we want to he and she. We want to talk. We want to spend time with
I got the minister. I got the minister
to
to her.
minister to one another. Yes.
Stop. Come on here, mama.
And so, in addition to that, every fifth Friday, every fifth Sunday, service is closed. It's family and friends day.
It's family day.
Family day. So, but if you don't have a family, it's family and friends day.
Right.
So you go and you spend that time with your family. You go and you enjoy and you love up on your family.
Right.
Establish a certain boundaries. And then in the summertime, the entire month of July, there's no Bible study. You go and enjoy the summer. Enjoy your family, enjoy your life, because that's Bible study. We still have Sunday service, but as a result of that is establishing what are the boundaries, what are you doing, because you want to make sure that the family is whole.
Listen.
You don't want the families arguing and not being around each other.
But this is one thing though. Anniversaries and birthdays, you better not be at service. Can you tell on and celebrate?
You better not, even
Why?
if you don't have plans.
And
Don't be at the church. Go
Why?
home.
Because you got the church cannot stand if your house is crumbling.
Yeah.
Listen.
And when there's a strong family, a strong marriage, a strong unit, guess what?
It's a strong church where you can come to that church and literally be healed. Where you can come to that church and literally be delivered. Why? Because everybody's household is strong.
Right.
And that's the thing. He's not saying you're not going to have your ups and downs, but guess what? You're going to know, dang, my family is number one.
And it starts at the head to work its way down, so it establishes the culture in the church.
So I'm telling you, that's why I tell leaders, what do you feet? Listen, mama, I got to go.
You got to go.
I got 1 minute.
I
Hey,
hope some
fellas,
of that
give me a
was
minute.
able to bless you. I hope some of that was able to help you.
Hey.
So we'll finish up the rest of the questions that we might not have gotten to tonight. We'll either do a video and post it on TikTok and Facebook, or we will tackle it next Thursday.
Hey, Aramis, give me 2 minutes, dog. Give me 2 minutes. tell them to hold on.
Listen, we love you guys.
Hey, don't forget, next week, Couples Prayer Challenge starts on the
Tuesday,
11th.
yes.
And it's going to go to Saturday, and that's going to be in the morning. And so we're going to make sure you join in, man. Go register ASAP. Couples with an S, prayer.com.
And the links are in the bio. And we love you. We appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
And we'll see.
And this is Tamika.
And this your boy E-Rock now.
Signing off.
Holler. Holla!
You so silly.
Cassette, baby. What's the matter, Buttercup?
I think YouTube is still